Hey everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel. Last week we covered how to play pickleball for those who might be unfamiliar. Now, moving forward, we're going to start jumping into more strategy, starting with one of the most important shots in pickleball, the volley. For those who are unfamiliar, the volley is where you hit the ball out of the air before it bounces on the ground. And the reason we're starting off our strategy videos with the volley is because it's the most important and most used shot in all of pickleball. The three most important tips for hitting a successful volley are grip, shoulder rotation, and footwork. When hitting a volley, it's super important to use continental grip, which basically means that you could draw a line from the center of your racket all the way down to this crease between your thumb and your pointer finger. The reason that continental grip is so important is because it's going to allow us to properly rotate our shoulders, which is actually key number 2 for hitting a successful volley. A really common misconception in pickleball is that you can hit a successful volley just by moving your hand to where the ball is. This is going to oftentimes lead to us getting crossed up and actually hitting a volley with the wrong side of our paddle. So the key to hitting a volley is to rotate our shoulders so that way we're hitting the ball with the proper side of the paddle every single time. I'll get in ready position as if I was facing the net, and when that ball comes over, I'm going to rotate my shoulders either right or left depending on whether I'm hitting a forehand or a backhand volley. Now, this might seem really intuitive when we're just talking about it and when the ball is maybe coming slowly, but when the ball's coming really fast, it's easy to get crossed up on this, so it's really important to remember to rotate your shoulders every single time. As you can see, starting with that shoulder rotation helps us to not get crossed up with our hand and our wrist when that ball's coming quickly back over the net. When we're talking about footwork as far as the volley is concerned, there are 3 key things that we need to do to really successfully execute that volley. First, and for those of you with a tennis background, you're going to know this term, we need to make sure that we're hitting what's called a split step before every single shot. Basically, a split step is a little bit of a jump that you're going to do to make sure that you're perfectly balanced every single time the ball is going to come back over the net. As you see here, I just landed on the balls of my feet, meaning I'm in a perfectly balanced and athletic position and I'm ready to hit a volley back over to the other side. Second, we need to really make sure that we're bending low with our knees so that way we're staying lower to the ground on these volleys. You'll notice that the reason I want to stay low on the volley is because it's a lot easier to rise up for a shot that's high in the air than it is to bend down for a shot that's low on the court. Lastly, but still super important to executing that volley, is the footwork as far as stepping is concerned. Unlike in tennis, in pickleball, you're going to step with the same foot as the side you're going to hit the volley on. So if I hit a forehand volley and I'm right-handed, I'm going to step with my right foot. Whereas in tennis, it would be you'd cross over with the opposite foot. So now, if we put all 3 of these things together, grip, footwork, and shoulder rotation, we're going to be in a really good position to hit even the toughest of volleys back.
What happens if the ball is coming directly at my body?
If the ball is coming right at my chest and I don't have time to step out of the way, I always like to hit a backhand volley instead of a forehand volley. For the forehand, it's really hard to tuck my elbow in like this, whereas on the backhand, I can kind of keep my elbow out to the side and block that ball back.
So what happens if the ball's hit directly at my feet?
If the ball is coming low and at your feet, you have 2 options. If time permits, you can try to take a quick pivot step back and hit that ball after it's bounced, but if you don't have time, try to just bend as quickly as you can and just block that ball back if you're able to. For extra practice at your local court, I want to include 2 of my favorite drills that have really helped me improve my volleys. For drill number 1, you and a partner are going to be standing across the net from one another, and for this drill, you're just going to start off by going volley to volley back and forth on the forehand side. Next, you're going to try to hit backhand volleys back and forth to one another. And finally, as an added layer of difficulty, you can hit a forehand volley to your partner's backhand. They will then hit a shot back to your forehand, and then you can switch it up after that. The second drill also requires 2 people and is meant for more advanced players. In this drill, I'm going to start on the corner of the kitchen line, and my partner is going to start on the opposite side of the net on the opposite corner of the kitchen line. We're going to try to volley back and forth to one another keeping that ball going while I am sliding from one side of the kitchen all the way to the other, and my partner starts sliding from one side to the other, so that way we're gonna cross each other in the middle. This drill is really tough because it incorporates both footwork and also volley ability at the same time. So if you don't get it right away, don't be discouraged. It took me a long time when I first started as well. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. I really hope that you were able to learn a little bit about volleys. In next week's video, we'll be talking about another skill and so on and so forth week after week. So I hope that you'll continue to tune into this channel. Thank you so much to Gearbox for supporting the channel. And let me know down below in the comments if there's anything that you want to see in a future video that we haven't covered yet. I will see you guys all next week.